go. Wrong screen I'm on. Alright, wrong one. There we go. Alright. Took a few turns. I better turn on my light because it will get dark soon. Alright, let's just jump straight into it. So what we want to do is we want to fix up these requirement items and requirement item information. So these particular tests are not running at all. And hello, how are you? I'm terrible with new names. I do apologize. Welcome, Zen. Welcome. I do hope you like my stream. So today we are gonna Zen. I'll remember Zen easier and pronounce it a lot better. All right, so what are we going to do is we're going to fix up the requirement information so these unit tests are running. So the bug in itself is, if we jump into our personal one, we are as the team leader. We should be getting this, but we get it here. So how's your day been, Zen? I hope it's been great. All right, I am going to untag this one. I am going to also open up a terminal. Sorry, I've restarted my computer, so just got to do a few things. I forgot to actually bring up the terminal. Going good so far? That is great to hear. You know, I've had a productive day, so I'm riding that high right at the moment. All right, let's. You also got to see a little of my behind the scenes, how I actually run this channel. I've got an ultra wide, and I chat off to the side just by a little bit. All right, so what do we want? We want to go to NearBeach sites. NearBeach. We want, and hey, Nocturnal, how are you? This is a bit early for you. Don't you usually wake up in about an hour? I'm assuming. Manage and then test. Got up early today, I take it. All right, we must have fixed this the other day. That is fine. Let's undo this one. So we've got the requirement item information. So if we fix all these unit tests, what we can do is we can build on the spreadsheet today. However, it's going to be a short stream today. I do have to leave in just a bit over an hour. So this one doesn't work. So it's saying a status code of requirement item information ARCS1 403. The following type error not supported of none. All right. So requirement item information. So we just key that in the top. So it looks like this is actually oh, all right. This is I've been trying to get up earlier, but also have to go to the dentist today. Fair enough. I've got to book another dentist appointment soon and a haircut soon. Yep. Got to get this thing neatened up. It's getting and this whole thing neatened up. Let's just say that it's looking like I've just woken up at every single point of the day. All right, so we got an issue here. Is not supported on instance of none type and int. So we're check user permissions line 340. So check user permissions. We're just going to jump to 340. All right. So in this case, same, it's going to go too long for me yet, Para. I used to have a lot more hair, so I used to have a really good strong line, so I could have a nice fringe, nice sort of volume and stuff, and yet nowadays, when my hair gets long, it looks ratty and tatty. I miss being 20 and thin. However, I didn't have a really good beard when I was 20, so you know, you win some, you lose some. Hence I say my hair is migrating. It's gone from up here to here. All right, so we're hitting this, and this is giving no results. So what we want to do, let's put a breakpoint up. Actually, let's put a breakpoint here. I don't think the breakpoints will work here, but let's. Oh, they worked. Great. So it's looking at user groups, results. Okay, user group, which is a user group. And then it's looking at the requirement and getting the max out of that. So the user level is none. Okay, this isn't a problem. What we're going to do, we're going to hit forward, and what we're going to jump into is we're going to do this through the terminal. So I'm just going to use Ocean just to scare people. Source, all right. Oh. Okay, Python 3 manage shell. Okay, so I don't know why we have that when that should just be an ID. Oh, no, yes I do, because we're translating it from that. Okay, cool. So what we want to do is we want to get the requirement item results. So that is a 1. We know it's connected to requirement item 1, so we're going to skip a step here. All right, so we're going to type in requirement ID equals 1. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is we want to, first off, from NearBeach.models import everything. And then we want to, I used to have really long hair. I didn't cut my hair during my PhD and it took me a while, yeah. I don't blame you. When I was a teenager, like 16 and stuff like that, I was like, screw it, I just don't want to get my hair cut. Should have washed it more. As an adult now, I'm like, should have washed it more. Okay, cool. So what I've just imported was the Django's database models, the queue. I did include the max also, which we will be using. Then what we want to do is we want to just copy this piece of code. We're just pasting it in and we're going to modify it slightly. So, I didn't want that last section. So we'll go through line by line. I will zoom in because I just realized some people can't see this. I'll paste it in again. All right, so we're looking at the user groups, objects filter, we've got 2 AND statements. All right, so the first AND statement is that it is deleted, and the group ID in object assignment. So this looks at the object assignment tables, making sure that the group ID is null and that the requirement ID equals the requirement ID. So what we want to actually do is we want to actually go up here and we just want to do the requirement ID equals requirement ID because we set requirement ID as 1. It was a good thinking tool. I could sit there separating when I need something to keep my hands busy. Yeah, fair enough. I've got my cube for that, or my beard. I do this quite regularly. Or do it with one hand. Whilst people are watching too, and I don't know why. All right, so what that does is it pulls out all the group IDs so that are assigned to this particular requirement. All right. Don't know why we need an and there. It would be this is and this is and. This might be in need of just a quick update to get rid of that and, but that's fine at the moment. And then what we're getting is we're getting all the user groups. Actually, no, I think there is a reason why this and is there. Okay. And then what we're making sure is that the username for these user groups is the same. Oh, oops. Okay, request user doesn't work. Sorry, that's my bad. I should have, should be a 2. Oops. Okay, so user group results. That is a query set of nothing. So there is no stuff there. So what we could potentially do, user group results, is when it's 0, we just do escape. Which makes sense because if there's no permissions, we don't need to do anything else. Check to see if there are any groups associated. So if length of user group results is none, no groups, meaning no permissions, arrays, it is, what is it? It's error, it's permission denied. Then that should work. Is that second clause for user specific permission? Yes. So down here, what will actually happen is if there is a group or multiple groups that still survive that sort of user permission requirement group permissions and stuff like that, it finds the highest value, and that is the highest value that that particular user will get. Because a user could be granted multiple groups, and that particular requirement item or requirement in this in the parent sense could be allocated to multiple groups, and you kind of want to find that sort of overlap with the highest value. So yeah. So we just needed an escape clause to be like, hey, there's no permissions here, the user will go away. And then we just hit refresh. Done. Perfect. So that unit test should now run perfectly fine. And this is why we write the unit tests. Cool. Perfect. All right. Oops. Sorry. Going back to here. Private download file. I have to think about how I would want to unit test that. That is something I do want to unit test to make sure that that particular functionality still will work, but it does require me setting up a file on the system in the GitHub and stuff like that. So I will have to figure that out. So yeah, permission set information. All right, this is one which we do want to test. So we'll have a quick gander. All right, it failed. Okay. So it's saying 200 instead of 203. So if we jump over, so this is permission set information. If we jump over to the admin, if we go permission sets, admin permission sets, let's just copy this. Now, for those who are confused at the moment, I'm actually using containers in Firefox. So the blue container, the second tab, is actually logged into a user who should not have access to this. So let's fix that major bug. And before we go forward, let's actually track this bug. Team leader, basic user can access permission set. Method log into NearBeach as a basic user. Go to the URL. And then expected results. User should not be able to access the URL. Actual results. No permission checks done. The user easily regained access. So yeah, this is a lot of these bugs I'm finding lately are because of unit testing. So yeah, I am not the strongest person at doing unit tests. Not the best, I should say. But I am getting better now. Administration. So yes, I will eventually get a spreadsheet up and running which will have every single URL on it. And essentially each worksheet will be a different sort of permission level. And I'll go through and be like, this user can access this, or not that, or not that. So yeah. So we've got this one down. We're getting to near the 1,000 mark. Holy hell. So, permission set information. We'll keep that open. We'll close that. We'll close that. We'll close that. We'll keep this one open. So, permission set information. This is part of the permission set views. Just gonna collapse everything. Open up NearBeach. Open up views. Open up permission set views. Now I can tell instantly that we don't have any of the decorators on. All right. So one of our decorators is the simple check user permissions. But there's also, the thing is, hey, let me click that tab. Oh, I'm already on it. Here we are anyway. There's also these here. Now, last stream, I created a specific decorator that double checks these. So we're going to utilize the same decorator in this sort of case. So if we go to permission set, scroll up, from NearBeach.decorators. Check user permissions, import check user admin permissions. So it's very specific. Now, I like this being in alphabetical order, so bang, like up there, cool. We did it on admin views. So yeah, we did it on admin views the other day, so it'll be the exact same sort of call here. We've just got to figure out what level permission we want them to be in. So, starting from the top, new permission set. Now, this administration create user, that was created from the field name itself. So if I actually bring over the Beekeeper Studio, stretch that out a bit better. There we go. We don't want that one, we want this one. And what we want is permission sets where we view the data. So in this sort of case, we've got administration create permission set. So with this, permission set, that is all we need. So new permission. So So 4 is delete, 3 is create. So we need 3 in here, and that should be fine. New permission save, that will be the exact same. So the save is just the CRUD. Permission set information. So this here, this will be a 1 because read-only users can access this. Permissions information save, that will be a 2. So a 2 is an edit. And that should be it for that one file. So all of a sudden, this should just start working. And now we've got 2 failures. Status code. Permission set information, args2. Yeah, all right. I've mucked that test up. New permission set. I've mucked these tests up. All right, that is not a problem. We go to the tests. So permission, we've got to find these tests. So this is called permission set information and it's args2. So up here, so permission set information number 2. Oh, that's actually a problem. Oh, we can fix this one very quickly. All right. So let me fix this up very quickly and I'll go back to explaining why the tests were set up wrong. In this sort of case, what we need to do is we need args and double quargs. And that just needs to be pasted in here because essentially we're passing extra information into these functions. And we're doing that through the decorator because we need information from the decorator to go in. All right. So the reason why the tests are wrong. So this is another permission information. Essentially, a normal user, if they don't have access, should get a 403, no matter what ID it is, because they haven't been given permission whatsoever. So up in my tests, I've accidentally put permission set information. Number 2 is a 200, where in reality that should be a 403. The new permission set, that should also be a 403. This user does not have access whatsoever. So that's where those unit tests are wrong. And a lot of the times you've got to go through and really think about your unit tests and so forth like that and make sure that, hey, you've got the right sort of test put in place. In this sort of case, I didn't. I will be rewriting that little thing out so it's a bit better later on. So the idea is a lot of this, I'll create an Excel and double check everything and then essentially slot it in here. So yes, that's all up and running. Cool. So we've just done that. All right, sweet. So private download file, we'll do another day. Change task information. So change task information is another one very similar to the requirement item information where it relies on the parent information to make sure if the user has access to that particular group and so forth. The overlap, if we want to call it that way. So I'm just running a quick test. Cool. Yep, it ran fine. All right, let's read the test. So change task information is a 403. That, all right, so let's actually double check that. So we want an RFC admin. This particular admin one. Let's go into our normal user. Bang, 403. All right, cool. We know just because of how we set up the database what the number is for that. All right, cool. This is another RFC that we set up, and we're happy with it. So yeah. Okay. Well, that was a lot quicker than I anticipated. So yeah. Let's have a look at the private download file. Let's see how we would do that test. So if we go, sorry, to the URLs. So it's under document views. So if we go to document views, down here. Okay, so the idea is we want to upload a file against something like a project when only the admin has access to it, and then something against another project where the everyday user can access it. So we want to test to see if it downloads and also stops people from getting to it. So one way to do that is, here's our document. Let's upload a document. You could do it with a link. Could easily do it with a link. And there's our BSOCs. All right, when we click on it, we can access it. However, if we copy this and paste it in here, sorry, there is no document. In fact, what warning are we given? We're given a 400 bad request. Well, I don't like that. I'd rather 404. Oh, sorry, bit of a yawn. So I'm just going through this again. Because this is a bit of logic, which is there's multiple steps. All right. Does send a bad response. I'm wondering if we should send a 404. But if we do something like CC, then it's coming back as all right. I can see there being an issue here. So what we want is we actually want this one particular line to be a essentially saying get or 404. So in Django, get object or 404, object or 404. It's part of the Django shortcut functionality. All right. Just wait. I've got to remember to bring stuff for tonight. Give me 2 seconds. One thing you could do with the spreadsheet you're thinking of putting together is that you could use that to generate the data for named turtles the way you should agree on behavior, or have your test data produce the sheet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Excel will actually the Excel should have it so that it generates the data for the named turtles in a way that is agreed on the behavior. I think, pretty sure. I haven't set it up yet. It will happen. It'll be similar to what we did the other day. Except we will fill out this data with form data. So yeah, it's just going to be a slow process. And what I could actually do is, because it's Excel, I could easily just get every single form data class, put it in a separate tab, and state, all right, so in this sort of case, have the form data come out like this, and then just use a VLOOKUP to actually sort of pull that information out. You could have the test read in that file. I could, but I'll probably copy and paste it in here. I don't want to overcomplicate it. If I can just do it looking like this. Because I also will have multiple sheets dealing with different this and different that. All right. So where was I? Yes, private downloads. I think. Let's go back here. Team leader. We've ready for retesting for that one. So can't find document / no document permissions should always be 404. So method one, I should point out. Method one, log into NearBeach as a user who can't access a certain document to try and go to that document. Method two, log into NearBeach as a user. Try and go to a random private document link that does not exist. Expected results for both methods. We should get a 404. Actual results for the first method, you get a 400 error. For the second method, you can get an error. So we don't want to tell the user if there's something there. They could be like, all right, does this link exist? Oh, we got a 400 error, meaning that it does actually exist. Whereas if we got a 404 for all of them, they'll be like, I don't know which one's which. I don't know if it's real or not. And I know I pasted it in twice. I'm just going with it now. For more thinking, that means that changes don't require copying manual process to be missed. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Multiple tabs. Yep. I'm just, at the moment, I might set it up later to be that fancy, but at the moment, I just want to get this working. Oops, I didn't even do anything. So this is a major sort of thing. This is a bug. This is with documents. Oh, well, this is submitted. This is assigned to me. Documents. All right. Okay, cool. Cool. So let's go with this shortcut. Get object. All right. 404. Get object or 404. Okay, so we need to include the shortcuts. So this is permission set views. We'll close that. We'll go here. We'll go all the way up. Django. Don't think we've got shortcuts in here. So it's Django. Yeah, Django's shortcuts. From Django dot shortcuts import object or 404. Cool. And then we're going to go down here. So in this sort of case, where does this error happen? 343. So it actually happens in another function, I do believe. Or did it further down? Oh, it's further down. Three, 4, 3. All right. There we go. Oh, I've got it already. Need to change this to a 404. Cool. Past me was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do something right now. I know later me will. So document results equals. Let's go back to the shortcut because I keep forgetting how it is. So yep. All right. My model and PK. Yeah. Cool. So get 404. So the model will be documents, document in itself, and then the document key equals document key. So that's important. So we don't have PK equals 1. We've got document key equals document key. So hopefully that will work. So I'm just going to hit save. That's going to refresh this. Perfect. It's this one that doesn't work. We'll open up a new tab that works. All right, cool. So that works. And then this one should be no document matches given query. Oh, that's a 404. Page not found. Perfect. So in this sort of case, we need to, instead of HTTP response, we've got that down in a separate spot, don't we? That's the redirect. Ah, here it is. So if the permissions don't pass, we've got a HTTP bad response. So that's at 341. So HTTP bad request. I'm just wondering if there is a HTTP 404. And then 341. And then I'm just going to comment out that, and I'm just going to go return HTTP 404. I'm just going to save. Oh, I've got to wait. There's no object. Oh. All right. It raises this one. Do I just raise it? Okay, wait a few seconds, hit refresh. 404, perfect. So if someone, for example, goes to, let's say this one, 404, great. So in both cases, we get a 404. And then if they're correct, they'll get something like that. Now, there is just one thing I do want to check out. Okay, so we want to go into NearBeach. Actually, no, we don't. We want to... what have we called it here? It's local, isn't it? Local, private, and then we've got a bunch of files in here. So whichever one's this, 84. 84, so we should see socks in here, yep. So if I actually move all of them to the bin, now I'm just, all right, this is where I got to think how I want to do this. So there's a couple of ways to do this. I can upload a photo into GitHub easily and just copy the same sort of logic of where it would be on here. But the problem is I've got to git ignore. And that kind of throws a spanner into the works because I want to ignore anyone testing out this functionality on their local because they might accidentally send up some random sort of stuff into source, which would not be fun. So I could do that, or I could potentially test out the links here to see if we actually hit the same sort of file. So nearbeach.org, NearBeach homepage, and I just want to see if it hits that particular thing. I found a bug. So that still hits the private. But I don't think it gets that far down. So what I want to do is I want to just put a breakpoint on here. All right. And I want to go back here and I want to copy link. And I'm going to open it up. All right, it does. Sweet, it gets all the way down here. Cool. Now the problem is we won't be doing unit testing for S3, which is fine. Okay, cool. I've copied the link. Let's paste it in here. Paste and go. Okay, cool. It comes here. Yep, it raises a 404. So that will be probably a solution to do that. That way I don't need to worry about it downloading stuff or doing this or that. It will just work. And then with the folders, so you can actually add a folder. And stuff like that. But that's more of the front end sort of stuff. That still gets data and all that kind of funky stuff. So if we go to network, you'll see random stuff. Oh no, it's got all the data there. Don't worry, it doesn't get any data from the server or anything like that because that's all JSON sort of data that's stored. All right, cool. So that's how we would do it. Let's stop the server. Let's load up our fixtures and let's put in a couple of links to test this. Okay, so the first thing is what we want is Python 3, manage, load data, and then we go NearBeach, fixtures, and then basic setup. Perfect. And now that's reset our database back to a fixture. We can start actually keying in this linked data and so forth like that. We do need to check a few other things before solidifying the database, but that is perfectly fine. So at the moment, we've got it. Did we start running it? No, we didn't. All right, it's running now. But I also want to just run the unit tests to make sure that everything works with the unit tests. If they don't, I can quickly fix it because I know that there was a problem with groups. Everything's working fine. Great. So let's jump in. we might need to re-log in. I hate when I do that. I press Shift Enter and it just opens up a new page. All right, so project information 1, we want a document. Oh, it didn't actually override my stuff. All right. I thought I had load data. Did it? All right, no, I know what I did wrong. Okay, stop in the database. Remove the old database. Python 3, manage, migrate. Migrate the database. Then what we want to do, this is where we want to load data. So this is where we do Python 3, manage py, load data, and then we go to the fixtures. And then that will load that all up. Then we run it in debug mode. All right. Then we should reload. And there's no documents there. Now the reason why I didn't need to log in is because the session key is still valid. So we'll add in a link, NearBeach.org, description, NearBeach, homepage. All right, and we'll do the exact same with number 2. NearBeach homepage. All right. So in here, so download private file. So we'll actually be doing this for 2 things, but they won't have 1 and they won't have 2. So for the first one, I'm going to write out that bug in a minute. And the first one, what we want to do is copy link. We're going to paste this. We are going to get rid of the vast majority of this and just, so that will be a 403. For the second one, once again, documents, we're going to copy link. I'm going to fat finger my way across the keyboard. Like so, and this one should be 200. All right. No. And we've got 2 fatal errors. All right. We'll look at this one. Private download file. The test will make sure that you can access the stuff. All right. HTTP has no object get. All right, this is weird. Okay. Test team leader 88. Yep. Going through client, exception, click laughing. That is a raise 404. Okay, let's just deal with one of them. Excuse me. Test basic page load successful. Following tests will make sure team leader can access most pages. Yep. So test user permissions. Yep. All right, it's just done that. Request check exceptions. All right. But we shouldn't be getting a 404. Private download file should be not private, project information 2. I'm just seeing if this works on the front end too. Yeah, it works. Django unit tests. All right, this is we eventually have to raise and not return it. All right, but I thought I did that. And this will raise it too. It's not a 404. Okay. Return is wrong. Raise, yep, is correct. Oh. I haven't pushed the data into the fixtures yet. But we have found another issue. This is a separate issue. So. Sorry. Alright. Let's double check that I haven't ruined everything with the double push of that other stuff. Alright, cool. Yep. So, in here, what we want, Python 3, manage, dump data, and then we want to dump data, we want format is JSON, indent is 2. We then want to arrow function that out into NearBeach fixtures, and then basic setup. All right. Still got a failure though. 400 does not equal 200. So we've now got a bad request. Even though it should be a 200. Alright. What have I been doing wrong? Let's actually look at this JSON data. So under NearBeach, fixtures, NearBeach basic data, open with here. And what we can actually do is we can just filter by that project. So we'll copy link, paste it in. It's not going to work until we get rid of all of this. We get rid of this. So we do have it in there. So under number 6. So number 4, we'll have it model, NearBeach document, fields, and so forth like that. Model, document permission. Okay, fields. So project 1 will start, and there's project 2. Alright, so it is in this document. So why are we getting a 400? Because that's just a generic bad case. The problem is I can't debug the code in these particular tests, so I can't figure it out. So let's go back up. It goes through all the checking permissions, and then it goes here, and then we've got a raise here. Right, then we've got technically another raise here, and we can actually delete these 3 lines. If the document result has document URL, we then go through this method, which is the 302, which is a found. And we redirect everything. Otherwise it goes through here. Or it gives us a path and it returns the file. File of response. Go to definition. Yeah, all right, this is... Oh, sorry. In this sort of case, we should have hit this and pissed off. Be interesting to see what the other one, if I quote this out and unquote that one, or comment, sorry. It'd be interesting to see what this actually does. Still has an error. Yes. That one shouldn't be going as far. That one should be hitting that, should be hitting this. Alright, this is weird. What was that thing I had open before? We have a raise. We've got 2 raises. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna stop this. All right, I'm just going to put a breakpoint here. I'm going to see if I can hit that breakpoint. I doubt it. Yeah, doubt it. Anyway, so we've just manually tested it and it works. I'm just wondering if there is an internal sort of testing. There we go. Configure PyTest. This will be in the NearBeach. No, all right, go back. Okay. Just double checking if it's PyTest or unit tests. Django comes with its own suite of its own test directory. Our policy is to make tests all pass all the time. We appreciate any continued test suite. How do I run my own crate? Writing and running tests. Unit test. All right, cool. Yeah, I have to double check that. So unit test. And then we're just going to find the directory. If I collapse all this, it's under NearBeach, tests. NearBeach. Unit tests. NearBeach underscore tests. I'm just going to do that. And then we've got it. So if we open up our tests, we've got a test underscore. All right. NearBeach tests. Oh, we can test singular objects. All right, this might actually help. If I hit play. Oh, nice. I don't know where the results are. So test user permissions. We want the test team leader, test this one, test basic. All right, cool. With debug. All right, that didn't work. Sorry, I'm just playing around with this at the moment to see what actually happens. Let's bang that out, bang that out. Let's bang this up. This should be 52 tests. Everything ran fine. This one, let's run tests. 0 out of 0 test pass. That doesn't make much sense. What? All right, I'm just going to copy that. Looks like there's been a problem with these tests. But let's just bang this up here and okay, VSC Django tests. Yep, I've got that. Use the PyTest framework. All right, I've used the wrong one. So, all right. Shoot, how do I get rid of this? Nuts. Alright. VS Code. Settings. Unit test arguments. Let's just remove trash. And all those files. Point test. All right. All right, I've really royally screwed the pooch here. Oh, do I just delete that? All right. Alright, how do I create new tests? That's fine. Alright, I am just going to close code. I'm going to reboot it. Let's see what happens. VSC. Let's just bump that over here. Let's make sure this is all working. There we go. I just needed to close it and reopen it. Now, extensions, reload required. I've just reloaded. Okay. Install. No, we shouldn't. Configure PyTests. We want PyTests under NearBeach. And Pip says, you look overgrown. At the moment, she's agreed. We both need a haircut. Ah, fair enough. Yes, yes. I am very overgrown. Now, okay, this is... What if I change both of them to true? And then nothing's there. All right. Let's delete these settings. Let's do the good old close and reopen. Let's bring that open over here. Just going to work on the screen for the moment. Oh, wait, I haven't opened up the project yet. So open recent, NearBeach. Testing, configure PyTests, unit tests in the directory, that, and then we have it so it's like that. Test user permissions. Test this one. Hit play. 0 out of 0 passed. Why though? If I open that up in a terminal, we've got a bunch of different errors. So running tests, unit tests, that particular one. And then running tests, test basic page loads, and then we got an error. Set up class, failed with the error required, requested setting databases, but settings are not configured. You must either define the environment variable. All right. So I tell you what I'm going to have to do. In this certain case, I think I've got to set up VS Code a little bit more to get this to work, which is fine. I haven't fully set it up yet, but it might be something I have to do. So I've got to keep an eye on the time because I got to leave soonish. All right. So I'm going to comment these out for the moment. I'm actually going to document that other bug. So that way we don't lose track of it. We know this is just setting up a config for VS Code and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get Des to run the VS Code is always a pain in the ass. Thank you. I'm glad it is. And it's not, I'm just glad it isn't me. So I'm not glad it is a pain in the ass. I'm glad it isn't me who thinks that at the moment. So adding a new link to document gives user undefined. So method 1, log into NearBeach. 2, go to an existing project / task. 3, scroll down to the document section. 4, add a link. 5, click on the link. Expected results. Link will work. Actual results. Currently, link will be undefined. A page refresh will work. The work, though. Just combine 2 words together then. All right. All right. Bring this like this. Header expected results. Okay, this is just a normal priority. This is a bug. This will be in document. Oh, sorry. Submit state. Assigned to me. Subsystem is document. All right, cool. And create. All right, and now what do we want to look up? So, Visual Studio Code, Django unit, Django testing. How long is this? Oh God. Oh, hello. Jesus. Okay, cool. Let's just scan this very quickly. Let's see if I can get a fix, because it'll be useful to actually be able to test in Visual Studio, because if that allows me to debug, I can find out what's going wrong, well, like what exactly is going wrong with the links and why they're not working. So Django is a high-level Python framework. Yep, all right, cool. This code project, yep. If you have, okay, prerequisites, still Python, yep. All right, create. Yep. Yep. Open project file by running code doc. Helping the word to describe Django. I take it you're on your phone, because hell got auto-corrected for me too to hell. And I'm like, you know what? It is actually a word. And at the moment, I swear to you, I don't know what someone has been doing. Every single time I type in my on my phone, it gets changed to MU. And I don't know why. Pissing me off. Alright, so that's just setting create a minimal Django app. Yep, creating the project. Yep, we all know this. This is, yep, we've seen the screen before. Creating a Django app. Yep, we've done that. Alright, create a debug launch profile. You're probably already wondering if there's an easier way to run a server and test out without, yep. Every time, fortunately there is. You can create a customized launch profile with VS Code, which also, yep, alright, cool. Yes, I'm sitting in the dentist's bedroom. Been doing too much mathematics. Yep. Switch to run. Yep. So we've done this. So we've got a launch JSON file. All right. So we might as well just compare it with ours. So name Python Django. Yeah, pretty stock standard stuff. Python launch. Yeah, pretty much stock standard. But the problem is with this, I don't know how to actually get it to access a virtual environment, like a VM type of thing. So I've had to install everything globally. Which I don't like doing, because you should always work out of virtual sort of environments with Python so that nothing clashes. The configuration tells VS Code, manage, yep, alright, cool. To test it, yep, alright, we got that working perfectly fine. Exploring the debugger, yep, alright. So we've worked this much out so far. Wait, what is that thing? Oop. Oh, sweetie. Oh, you knocked it over. Oh, sweetie. There we go. Give me. Peanut. 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 Give me. Sorry, the cat just knocked over the cat tower. And now she's in the corner being like, what the hell just happened? Should be able to configure your interpreter. Okay. If you have the drop down quickly, you can select the binary you want it to run in. If you have the drop down, all right. Where is? So I've got that, and that's this. Control Shift P, I think. Oh, yep. All right, cool. Might be option on Mac. I'll just double check option. Yeah, Command. Yep, cool. Oh, even better. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, that's neat. Thank you very much. So I'll probably have to create one just for NearBeach. All right. Getting back to this debugging. Yeah, we've done most of this before using template renders. Yep. Serving static files. All right, we don't need to know that. All right. All right, we don't need to do that. All right. Oh, she's eating. Working with data models and migrations. We don't need to do any of this. I've got this use debugger page templates. Yeah, we pretty much know that. Optional activities. Yep. There's nothing about testing on here. Oh well. No, that's not. It should remember you could always save the workspace if you want to make sure. Okay. All right. Django unit testing in VS Code. Let's have a look at this. So in here, let's just zoom in. Is it? Yeah, it's not detecting the tests. And then, so I'll actually show you the settings. So this is the settings so far. Unit test enabled, that one false. That's normally my issue. Oh, fair enough. So when I use unit tests, it finds the tests, but it doesn't run them. And it comes up with like a database issue, which shouldn't happen because we're using fixtures, which is weird. So, and if I use the PyTest, it can't find the test. So yeah, anyway, let's hope this document helps. So while PyCharm Pro might be the most popular idea, free open source alternative. Yep. Python is supported. Yep. Yep. All right, cool. You can find information about Django VS Code here. The extension does not have built-in support for Django unit tests, but we can use PyTest to run Django unit tests. All right, please make sure you have installed PyTest and PyTest Django. Okay. Our terminal's over here. We'll need to use a global one. PyTest Django. No one saw me do this. All right, requirements already satisfied for PyTest. Satisfied. Successfully installed Django test. Yep. All right. Sweet. All right. So we've just done that. Go to default settings. Search for Py unit test. And change. Actually, I tell you what. There it is. So we want unit test PyTest enabled to true. All right. I'm just like looking at this. This shouldn't be this hard. Yeah, this shouldn't be this hard. Yeah. All right. I guess I'm having to dig out why this isn't working. In the meantime, I can create a bug report. So at least I don't lose track of this issue. Running unit tests for the download private document are failing. All right, is that we want block code block. We got burnt by that last time. All right, the above unit tests are currently not working as expected. We have no ability to debug the tests. We'll need to set up VSC so that we can debug tests to find out exactly why they are not working. And it's probably something very, very simple, as it always is. So this priority is going to be a normal one at the moment. It's a bug. Submitted, it's assigned to me, and it's part of the document system. Cool. And then I'm just going to create that. I'm just checking my phone just to see something very quickly. Cool. I think. Oh, did we create the? Oh yeah, we did create the other bug. All right. Just gotta remember things to do. So we're almost done here. Okay. I tell you what. Let's actually start creating that Excel spreadsheet. Sorry, I was meant to do that on that screen. And that way I can still have chat kind of over there. Actually, let's just full screen this. Alright. I'm just going to duplicate this, make that out. Sorry, I'm just doing all the usual stuff. Excel, okay, cool. Let's go form data here. So over here, we want to go to the code. I'm just going to delete that settings file. Because screw it, that's why. I am going to go to NearBeach. I want the forms. And what I want to do is I want all the classes in here. So straight off the bat, I am going to see if I can do this the cheat way. So I'm going to paste stuff in. All right. Then I am going to sort this. So sort. Yeah, cool. Perfect. And then what I can do is I can get rid of the vast majority of the code that I don't need. This is my little trick. Feel free to nick it. This is why I get paid the big bucks sometimes, is there's times where I can just use Excel to just do something quick. All right, so we've got all our form classes. So from here, what we want to do is we want to text columns. Straight off the bat, we want to do it delimited. We want a space, and then we want a open bracket. And that will give us a class, which we'll get rid of, and then our forms. And just extra data, which goes in there. Cool. So we actually have 64 forms. I didn't realize there were that many. But each form does one particular thing. And some of the forms are used in multiple places. This is what happens when you've got a lot of data. So from here, so up here, what we want is we want form class. Then we want form data. And we do actually want a blank field which has bang in there. So yes. Okay, and then in here, what we want is the URLs. So we're going to do the similar thing with the URLs. So, but the URLs will actually be easier to get as a list if we go in here and just key in, let's say, the wrong thing. Oh, we're not debugging it. What the hell was that about? Okay. So straight off the bat, bang, all of these. Oh, into here, insert. Oh no, just paste. So straight away, we'll need to fix the top one, but that's perfectly fine. What we'll have is a URL and then a name. And yeah, I think that will be the best solution. So if we do text columns, delimited, we just have a space. We can get just the names out. Like so. Now, in this sort of top case, we'll need to actually cut that. We'll need to paste it in here and do that. That's the only case where we'll need to do that. So we've got all the URLs in here, along with the information that they are required. That is required. I'm purposely keeping them in there like that. So we've got the name field in here. I am just going to copy that because I still want to keep that property. Piss. There we go. Sweet. From here, what we want to do is a find and replace. I keep forgetting the find and replace in that hat one. So what we want to find and replace is name equals, and then we want to get rid of the little dash. We want to replace all. All right, sweet. Sorry, single quote, not dash. Single quote, go on, bang, bang, bang. All right. I think we're going good. And then up here, we should include the form class. In which case, then we can include form data. So the form data will be specified over here. On here, we'll need to actually, in the case that there is a form, it will spit something out and so forth like that. So I am actually happy with how this is actually, arguments first. We did this the other day. So length of this would be a 1. And then we minus the length of substitute A1 again, where we have one of those. Substitute with the greater than symbol with nothing. All right, I might have mucked that up. So we'll play around down here. We'll just get equals substitute. Let's substitute this one, which does have a symbol in it. So old text, we want to get rid of this. And the new text, we want nothing. That's what we want. Okay, so equals substitute. So let's go with A1 again. All right. We want to get this symbol and substitute it with nothing. All right. Bang. Perfect. And then we take the length of that. All right. But before we do any of that, we take the length of A1 and then minus our formula. In this case, it would be a 0, which is what we want, because the lengths are the same. So this should give us how many arguments are in here. So this will be 0. I'm pulling that around. This will be 1, because notice how we've got the card ID. This will be 1 card ID. If we come down here, we've got a couple of 2s. We've got a destination and location. So we've got 2 arguments to put through. So whilst we're actually doing that, let's insert our so URL, name attribute name, arguments count length. Okay. Method. So that will be either a get or our post type of thing. So I've got to go through that and figure that out. And then form data. So in this sort of case, with the add user, admin add user, it'll be the add user form. All right, I'm just putting this as an example in here, and then we do a VLOOKUP. So trim this. Actually, I tell you what, could we do that? Let me just test this out first. Trim this where We want the second one. And then false. And yeah, that comes up with an NA. But that's not a problem. Because that will come up with a 0. And in this sort of case, we can key in some data like this in here and it will pop up there perfectly fine. That way, if we're having the same form used in multiple different locations, we'll just have set data for it. And that data won't mean much anyway. So we need to get around this NA sort of thing. So first off is if we know the VLOOKUP is going to work. So let's do if empty. Well, there's no if empty. If how do we do this again? There's a special formula. If cell, no. If let's say F2 equals no, F2 equals nothing, then we want empty cells, otherwise help. All right, cool. And then we need to copy this. Instead of help, I'm terribly sorry, this is really small text. I'm just copying and pasting in the VLOOKUP. So if that isn't blank, what will actually happen is it will actually purposely do a VLOOKUP. And then that will work perfectly fine. All right, cool. So yes, I've got to fill out all of this. What other data do I need? So I've got the dashboard. To key in the arguments for it. So that will be different from user to user. That will be data. And that will be 200. So what I could do is could copy this. So let's color code this. So it's like that. Because I'll need the name here. I'll need the arguments, which will be here. Need the form data and I need that. So then if I actually insert and put in arguments here, and by default they will be like this. I won't do it for all of them, I'll just only do it for the first 2. Let's do it for the first couple. Like so. Add user form, that will have username Frank. Alright, that will be keyed in like that. And then this will be the calculation. So this is a one-to-one, but what will happen is you will have to copy these into the other spreadsheets and then add in the permutations. And that should work. All right, let's not call that calculation, let's call it unit. What do we call it? Unit URL test. Unit URL test equals concatenate. Actually, before we do that, let's actually copy one of these as an example. And that way I should be able to quickly bring up more unit tests with this spreadsheet. So I could copy the basic sort of slab. And I need the, if I insert column, the HTTP response. So So 200, 403. And then I can just create all these users, duplicate some of these for different permutations, and then build upon it. And that way it should be quick and easy to have this turn around. All right, cool. Concatenate URL test, and then we need the name. We need the arguments. We need the form data. And we'll need the response. And that should be it. All right. Oh, I didn't want to do that. And that should be it. So let's save this. Let's actually put it in our code. NearBeach, we actually want to put it under tests. So it's NearBeach. And then I want a template of unit tests. Okay. So we've got that basic sort of thing set up. I will need to, when I've got time, actually go through the form data and pull out exactly what needs to be done. But what will happen is I'll have that, I'll split the screen. So I've got form data and the code, and I'll go through and be like, all right, let's put in these values and so forth like that. They won't need to be different for every single unit tests. However, that being said, if I do need them differently, I can just